You went from living out of your car, now this multi-million-dollar agency.
Nobody could anticipate how big that was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was the only one that was actually doing what I wanted to do. We help, business leaders, executives, companies, people of that nature build a brand online by getting, featured on podcasts or television, press releases, marketing strategy, and everything in between. And I built a business around that that's been pretty successful. So,
1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to The Business Game,
A podcast that moves the needle.
You know what? I think there's a pain point that all businesses have that quietly eats away at their time. Do you know what it is?
No.
Scheduling.
Oh, absolutely. Staff rosters, equipment, logistics, compliance. It never ends.
Nope, totally. That's what I love about what TraffTrack is doing. They make complex scheduling simple with smart, intuitive software, all handled remotely, right? In real time on both the desktop and the app, right? The app as well. So everyone stays in sync.
And their team gets it. They've worked in industries like construction, logistics, and events, so they know the pain firsthand.
Yep. Now, it's just smooth, smart, and stress-free. Who doesn't want that? So check them out at trafftrack.com. And thank you, TraffTrack, for supporting The Business Game.
Hello, and welcome to The Business Game, a podcast that moves the needle. I'm Kalina Steno.
I'm Steve Plummer.
Before we get started today, make sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Today, we're joined by JJ Carter, public relations expert and the founder of Golden PR. JJ, thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Just happy to be here, and happy to be on the Business Game podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Yeah. To kick things off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what Golden PR does?
Yeah. So I'm JJ Carter. I'm 23. I'm the founder and CEO of Golden PR. It's like a results-driven public relations firm. So we help, business leaders, executives, companies, people of that nature build a brand online by getting, featured on podcasts or television, press releases, marketing strategy, and everything in between. And I built a business around that that's been pretty successful. So, yeah.
Amazing. So when you told people that you were going to be starting a PR agency at the age of 22, did they think you were brilliant or delusional?
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, there was definitely a lot of people thought that I was delusional when I first started this, like when I started in general. I was doing a lot of business and everything throughout high school. I was always, building websites or marketing for people, anything that I could do to get my hands on some kind of money, I was doing. So when I graduated high school, I just had, this dream to go move across the country, meet a bunch of people that were doing the same thing that I was doing and just run businesses with them. And at that time, definitely, I think everybody, including my parents, thought I was delusional. I was packing my car up in the middle of the night, talking about, hey, I'm going to drive across the country at 18 years old in the middle, winter or whatever. So yeah, a lot of people doubted me. I don't know.
Yeah, amazing. And have you always just been passionate about marketing and PR and you just see the value there and that's just where your heart was always set?
Yeah, I don't know I think ever since I was very young, I think I always had a desire to work on my own or become rich or wealthy or something when I was very young. And the only two avenues for that to me were, start your own business or get into social media. So I always just there's no way I was getting on Instagram and posting whatever people were posting then. I was a kid. But I always just kind of got into the business side of things, building websites, getting technical, that sort of thing. And eventually just kind of kept finding another monetization strategy with a laptop that I could get my hands onto and work and build, and that's kind of how I fell into it.
Amazing.
Yeah, in that journey, JJ, you said a lot of people doubted you. Did you doubt yourself at all in that journey?
Yeah, I would say I definitely doubted myself along the journey. Whenever I was doing something crazy, I always set the bar high for myself. I always tried to achieve whatever I could. And, especially at that age, starting so young and not having your entire life figured out and seeing all your friends go to college and get these jobs and they all had their life figured out or they were getting their flowers from other people and you weren't or that sort of thing. It definitely made me compare my life to other people, but I wouldn't say like I've like fully doubted myself. I always knew like deep down like that, like if I was going, I always ask myself this question, like if it took me like 40 or 50 years, like if I'm 60 years old and I'm still in the same position, would I still keep trying? And the answer was always yes. Like I just loved it. I had a desire to it. I had a passion to go, and that's kind of where I went.
Love that.
Yeah. So was that the answer to self-doubt and outside doubt is just to keep going?
Yeah. Just to keep going and, always believe in yourself, always have a purpose for like what you're trying to achieve. Like I think too many entrepreneurs, too many people, especially my age and younger, or even just in their 20s in general, have the wrong reasons why they get into business. It's always to just get rich or do this or whatever. But I think you have to find something that you genuinely enjoy and just be fulfilled in, being the best at it and being able to create your own occupation, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Just on that, in those early years, was there, I guess, a moment, because you were working on a laptop in your car, and was there a moment where you just went, wow, you know what? I actually can't believe I did that. Was there one of those early aha moments that was fantastic for you that really fueled your purpose and your mission?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was this one time I closed my first deal. It was like for like $10,000 US. It was insane. Most money I've ever touched. And it was, if you saw the setup in which I did it, you would laugh at me. It was like, I was like on my bed and my computer was on my windowsill and I had like the lights open. So I was just like sitting there and I had like probably just shorts on and a nice shirt or whatever. And I was like, I closed the deal that way. And I was like, that's insane that we were just able to do that. I mean, it took forever to be able to close something for that amount of money. So I was just very blessed to be there, blessed to be able to be a part of it. And then, yeah. And I think that was like my aha moment where it's like, if somebody like that could trust a guy sitting on his bed at a windowsill with their money, then like I could do this 1,000 times. So that might have been one of those moments. I'm sure I had a lot more.
Yeah, cool.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs, I know for myself, when I was going through my entrepreneurial journey, I found that comparison piece really challenging, especially because you're networking with people. Like there's...
Or you turn on social media.
Or you turn social media.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like... And, comparison is the thief of joy. And you're doing something that you're passionate about and you're excited. But there's so many moments where, people are seemingly doing so much better than you and seem to have it all figured out. Was there a piece that you sort of held on to in that space to kind of keep you on the track and go, okay, no, I'm not going to just throw in the towel and go to college and do the run-of-the-mill normal thing. I'm going to stick to this. Is there like some mental strategy or ritual that you did to keep, because it would have happened multiple times, right? Like you said, you're surrounded by it. So I'm interested. Yeah,
I always told myself that like I was the only one that was actually doing what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of people were pretty influenced by like other people, or they said they wanted to do something, or they talked about doing a business. So like the fact that I was able to take that leap and step into it, like regardless if I was making less money than some of my friends or I was getting less education or whatever, I always felt like, well, at least I'm doing it. At least I'm here and I'm in the trenches, and it's just like, at least I'm able to say that I took the jump. So regardless if it worked out or not, I would have been fulfilled, Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the world of PR, your world. So what would you say, I guess, is the biggest misconception people have about getting featured in the media?
The biggest misconception that I notice that people have is like, I mean, there's a lot of them. A lot of people think it's just like kind of fugazi. It's not like a pretty business or whatever to be into, or they think that you just have to pay your way into all these big publications or whatever, that like the people that are doing them are actually like credible or authentic or something. But, and there's new ones that come up every day, especially with like AI and just the media in general and news and how they cover stories and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just nuts. But I think like that's where I kind of differentiated us, is like we built something that's a little bit more modern and more on like the branding side of things, and like more about like leveraging the placements and the things that we do get our clients into their sales process or their marketing strategies to ultimately just make them a higher like ROI, which not a lot of PR firms specifically are doing. It's all just like, you know, things that make you look good rather than actually move the needle for your brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just talk, you mentioned AI, can we just talk about that a little bit? Because perceptions from a market point of view, the perception is, well, I've got a content creator, I've got AI, I don't really need PR. How do you respond to that kind of objection, I guess, or that line of thinking?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think I grew up in a day and age where all this stuff is just like another day to me, like I grew like before when I first started, I had to teach people how to do Zoom, let alone Riverside and all this stuff. Like I had to teach people how to get on Zoom and talk to me and all this stuff. And then when COVID happened, to me at least, it was like the biggest blessing in disguise, where it was like it forced everybody online. And now I'm able to conduct business and do these things and not even have to explain myself. So when you talk about like AI specifically, I think it's here to stay. I think it's the next gen internet. I think as scary as the internet was in the early 2000s, and nobody wanted to get on it, nobody wanted to do it, those same people still don't know how to work their iPhone. And the people that were interested in it are, having a blast. They're figuring it out and they're using it how it's supposed to be used. I think AI is the same way. So it's, I encourage people to use AI, but I think at the end of the day, people invest with me at least for the human element, for the ideas that I conduct and implement. And I'll be open and honest. I use it with my everyday life, but it's me behind the, artificial intelligence or the technology that's making it that much different.
Well, you have to train it, right? So
yeah.
you've done all that, you've done the training. And so you're adding that human element to the AI. And so it's just enhancing your skill set rather than stealing from it, right? Yeah.
I do love that line too. They invest in me for the human element. I think that's really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is.
I'm really interested. So, in terms of strategizing, you're sort of touching on it before with a lot of PR firms just kind of make you look good and they're not really aligning it with the business or where they're at. And you said you sort of do things a little differently. So I'm interested to understand. So when you're looking at, let's say, a new startup, I had a friend who started an app, and it was a food map, and it was just outside of COVID, and it's free to use. And she got plugged on one of our big news channels here, thinking that that's what she needed to do to get out there. It totally backfired in a weird, positive, not so positive way, where so many people jumped onto her app that it collapsed. And to try and go and regain all those people, there's a lot of damage there, right? So in a situation like that, where someone's hasn't gone and sought expertise like yourself and has done something like that, how would you go and fix that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would, in my brain instantly goes to the story element of it. I mean, obviously, like I could talk to her about like how she could fix her business to make it a little bit better. But like, the story element is just like, I mean, she had something so popular in demand that she was able to crash her app. She should be like popping champagne right now, and I would just kind of like take that to the media, even though it doesn't seem like it, but I would just take that to the media in that light, because there's such a demand for that kind of product. But yeah, in terms of like, I guess like how I do it differently is like, if she were to come to me, I would assess that all first. Like I do my due diligence on a lot of brands and businesses that come to me. Because especially when you're in the media world, marketing, and you could really change somebody's life, like it's important that they also have their ducks in a row. So I need to understand like people's products and businesses, and are they ethical? Are they good people? That kind of thing. And like really do my vetting. And then once I have it all understood and I understand how their business works, then I'll just apply a marketing first public relations approach to their business to paint them in a good light.
Yeah. That's great. And so for someone who's never done PR before, what would you say the first thing that they should do to start building credibility today? What's the first thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say the biggest thing that if you've never done PR is like do everything you can, like get as much of a resume and reputation under your name as possible. So like post as much as possible, do as many podcasts that you could reach out to for free as possible. I would, reach out. I want to reach out to the biggest publications. I would just reach out to like some of easier ones to get into, like Medium or something like that, where you could just get published or start publishing stories and things of that nature. And just do everything like ask ChatGPT 10 questions or like 10 answers of what you should do with PR and just go do it. But yeah.
And the meaning behind that would be to get you, not just to be seen, but to also let people get to know you and what you're offering. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, to get out there, to get people like to get seen, but also to build a resume. Like a lot of times when I'm going to like a bigger podcast or like Forbes, for example, if everybody could get featured in Forbes, everybody would have done it, right? The reason it's so prestigious is because it's so like gate kept or like how to get in there. So like the more of a resume that you could build where it's like, I call them like third-party validators. Like if people watch your podcast and now I'm on it and you guys are saying I'm a good person, they're going to trust your instinct that I'm a good person. So you guys just third-party validated me. And I could go to the same thing with like Forbes and say, hey, JJ isn't this random guy that started a PR firm. He's this random guy that started a PR firm that was featured in Business Insider, Medium, and all these publications for it. You should do a story on him. And it just moves the needle. It helps like speed up the process 1,000 times better because you already have that foundation that you've built.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Is there other than what you've mentioned, JJ, is there a simple PR move that most business owners completely overlook that could move the needle for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could go on and on every business and every business owner's mistakes and what they're doing in terms of PR specifically. I think that building an authentic like personal brand is probably the biggest thing that a lot of entrepreneurs aren't doing because they're so intimidated by it. I think like building a personal brand, like you automatically think of these big guys like Hermosi or Gary Vee that are posting 1,000 times a day and sending all these things out. But I think like you could have the same kind of reach that they have as far as like optimizing your brands to be able to, convert your customers or connect with new people. And the barrier to entry to that is like not as much as people think. So I think just like getting a little bit more strategic with like, rather than how much you're posting, like what you're posting and where it's at and how you're being with it. Like, I think that's like something that brands are doing. They're just too intimidated and they just end up doing it wrong at the end of the day. I don't know.
So when you say what you're posting, have you got some tips around that for anyone listening? What should I be posting versus what I should not be posting to build that personal brand?
Yeah, I mean, it always depends on the platform. I use LinkedIn a lot. That's like my biggest, where I connect with the most people. But I would usually I try to generally sum it up into like 3 different points when it comes to social media. Number 1 is, post like 33% of your content should be like credibility driven content. So something that gives you credibility, like a press release or a podcast or something that's backing you up in some sort of way. Number 2 should be like authority driven content. So something that positions you as the expert in your industry. So like, talk about facts about something, or in PR, I would talk about like the top 5 things to do to increase your Google presence or something in 2025. Like I'd write about stuff like that. And then the other 33% should be something personality driven, something that makes you a human that people could resonate with and relate to. And as long as you fall into those, like, with a little bit of room for margin, then I think you'll make like a really good brand and have a lot of content to be able to go out.
I love that. I had some people pop in my head of like some founders that I've followed, and they sit in that realm of like, they definitely like tick those 3 in around that sort of percentage range.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear it in that setting. To go, like now I can look and reference that. It's great.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about the authority being the new currency, what does that mean exactly? And what's the fastest way for someone to start earning that?
Yeah. I mean, authority, credibility, all of that stuff is like a currency right now. I mean, especially when we talk about AI, everybody and their mother is trying to find content that is AI or find a brand that's AI. Like imagine owning a PR firm where you write press releases and then ChatGPT comes out and everybody's on the hunt for like which one's ChatGPT or whatever. So I think like so many people are trying to find out, and all these videos and stuff now, it's getting crazy. So many people are trying to figure out, or they're just subconsciously thinking of whether or not this is real or not, or whether or not this is actually going to help me. So I think like being authoritative, being credible, being authentic, especially, is like a currency in and of itself. So, how people would, I guess, gain that is just like, just be transparent, be authentic online. I don't know the best way to put it. There's so many, you scroll on Instagram, there's just so many like talking heads saying, hey, I can help you in your business. Come work with me. Come work with me. Come work with me. And I think just give as much value as you could, and just let the rest happen and let the rest fall in. And as long as you're just giving value in an authentic way, you're not looking for other things in return, that sort of thing, I think the business will come and people will value that a lot more.
Awesome. Sort of waiting for that invitation, give, and then let it come back around in its own way. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Hey guys, quick pause to talk about Opus Clip, one of my favorite tools for creating content without the stress. If you've ever spent hours editing videos, wishing there was an easier way, Opus Clip is your solution.
Their AI engine takes your raw clips and turns them into share-ready videos in under a minute. No editing skills required, no headaches, no endless hours at your computer.
Seriously, it's like having a professional editor in your pocket. You can create more content, experiment with formats, and share it instantly, all while saving a ton of time.
And if you want to get started with a great sign-up bonus while supporting the show, just use the link in the description.
All right, back to today's episode. We're about to drop more insights you won't want to miss.
Yeah, JJ, let's speculate a little bit here. Just say disaster struck and you had to start from scratch and build your credibility in 30 days. What would your playbook look like?
Yeah, my playbook, if everything blew up and I had to start my business all over again, I have a marketing background, so I would probably create like just a really good offer that like it looks like I know what I'm talking about in like a really pretty slide deck. And I would just start, getting on as many like interviews and podcasts as I could. I would probably try to start scripting out some like content that I could use in my process. Like I wouldn't be posting every day on Instagram or Facebook and all this stuff. I would just try to create as much strategic content as I could, of like, what do I do and how do I work and how I could help people and my methodologies and what makes me different. And then I would just start reaching out to people via email, via LinkedIn, whatever, and just start showing them those kinds of things throughout the process, like getting them on a call with me, showing them the videos, and just building out my sales process, like to make it look like I'm pretty authoritative and credible at what I do. So by the time they see my business, my offer, they already resonated with that and they will work with me.
Sounds pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So easier said than done.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Back to the car, get the laptop out, windowsill. Yeah. You've done it before.
JJ went, oh no, I've got to go back to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was having flashbacks a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So, JJ, you've obviously worked with quite a few people now, got a few success stories under your belt. Is there one that sort of sits at the top as like oh wow, like we actually did that and you're super proud of?
Yeah, I think all of them, like every single client I love. Yeah, I love them equally. Like what we're doing is like, I'm really just doing something different than a lot of people are. Like a lot of like PR firms or agencies could get you featured in this big thing or get you on this cool event or whatever. And it's like cool. It's like a big wow moment, but it doesn't actually like change their business. And I think like just every entrepreneur that is on our website or that we have worked with in our pipeline, we were able to increase their revenue or just speed up their sales cycle or increase their rates in some sort of way using the stuff that we use, and leveraging the credibility and authority the right way.
You mentioned before, JJ, the noise out there and all the AI driven stuff. Some people say that influencers have actually killed PR. Others say they are the new PR. What's your take on that?
Of whether or not influencers have killed PR?
Yeah, or they're the new PR.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, it's such an ever-changing world. I read this book, The Business of Persuasion. I forget who wrote it, but it was about this guy that started a PR firm. in like the 20s, and then I think he died in like 2015 or something. But he wrote like an entire memoir about his just like experience running a PR firm through all the years. And he started out as like just a paper boy in like the shipyards of like New York, like selling people newspapers and everything, to being in like the 2000s where they're doing all these speaking engagements and everything and television interviews and stuff. It was just cool to see like the changing world. I would say like influencers and everything. I mean, it's just a new version. It's just another avenue. I mean, there's so many things that pop up and go, and some are here to stay, some aren't. I think like, anymore, especially from a marketing perspective, from a promotion perspective, you have to move fast and you have to be on top of these trends like crazy, or you're just going to miss out. It's like the adapt or die mentality, where it's like, if AI is like something that you either adapt to or you die with it. So like, it's the same thing with like influencers and these different marketing channels, or streamers become a big thing. And now stream appearances are big. It's just like adapting to that new method of marketing and branding and, building with it. So I think they're a net positive, to answer your question, for PR.
Yeah. You mentioned speed and responding. There's an old saying that, all publicity is good publicity. Where do you sit with that one? Because that's a really interesting one, right? If something bad happens in business, it's all over the media. That could be very damaging to your brand, to your reputation. But is all publicity good publicity?
I would say all publicity is good publicity, but not all reactions are good PR. So like, it depends on how you react to what happens to you. I've been on the other side of a lot of those things, and it's just like, you just have to know how to react, be a good person at the end of the day, and it should pan out in your favor.
So what's a good reaction versus a not good reaction?
I mean, it depends on what happened in the in the media world. Like if people started talking about you for like, I don't know. I know like crypto things are big right now. Like let's say somebody came out to you and like you were a part of this crypto scam or whatever. People got angry and now it's all over the media. I would say a bad reaction would be like no reaction at all. Just like kind of just shutting down and like just taking money, whatever, you're on your way. Kind of like what happened with like Haley Welch. Nobody ever knows her. But like I would say a good reaction would be, acknowledging it and having like a clear, concise next steps to like how you're going to handle the situation, and and just kind of ride the responses as much as possible, so you could get as much attention as possible, I guess, if that's your goal.
It's probably a great opportunity for that transparency and like authority, and being authentic is in that tough moment of like, oh, I screwed up. Putting your hand up and be like, hey, that was me. I'd love to get your take. This is, on whether or not that CEO that got caught at the Coldplay concert, if that was a PR stunt or not. I have to know, because I'm like, that was so, like, no one knew about that AI company that those two worked for until
where does that one fit, right?
I just found that timing to be quite convenient. But I mean, things happen, but I got to know from a PR perspective, what do you think?
Yeah, I think like a lot of things, especially like that specifically, is like, it could start and they could do it for PR, but like I think like nobody could anticipate how big that was. You know what I mean? Unless you had like extreme, unless you had like extreme like connections or whatever. But like I feel like if that was a PR stunt, I would know about it. I feel like whatever firm or company was behind that would be bragging about it like crazy. I'd like talking about it, but I think it just so happens to blow up, but he probably maneuvered it afterwards. He probably hired a good firm saying, "Hey, I'm getting hundreds of millions of views right now. I need to make some money." But
funny. I just had to ask.
Yeah,
I was like,
interesting though. So the answer may be pass or decline, but what would you have done if they had come to you and said, "Help us manage this from a PR perspective"?
I don't know. I don't know how I would handle that, to be honest. I think what I would do is just like let it ride out, and I'd probably start. I mean, it depends on the individual at the end of the day, because now we're talking about, he has his own family and you don't want him to whatever. But I would say like, If it was up to me and there was no emotion tied to it, I would just like joke about it for a long time. I would probably have him start posting about like, I don't know, just hanging out with her, doing things like that, and like just somehow maneuver it to the business. I'd have to like really assess that. I'd be up all night thinking about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. It's not a quick thing. This is what you do, and it fixes all the problems. So, yeah.
This is how you make money after you cheat on your wife.
The playbook, right?
Golden PR's got a new rebrand.
Actually, just on that, you mentioned things blow over quickly, and yet not responding is not a good response. So I'd like to push back a little bit on that. If content is so fast and the media cycle is so quick, why does not just letting the storm blow over, why is that not a good strategy? Because, people forget it. Like, I hadn't thought about that. That occupied our time for a week or so, massive incident. But I haven't thought about that forever, or since it happened kind of thing. And so why is just letting something bad that happens blow over and just stepping back? Why is that not a great strategy?
It depends on how people are perceiving you, right? So like right now, if we were to have this guy on the podcast that did do this, all you would talk about is that moment, right? And you would talk about what he just did wrong, because we all already formulated our own opinion. We already heard about it. We already know about it. So that's the guy that he just became. So that's like, I guess it depends. Like sometimes responding is good. Sometimes not responding is also good, but like depends on who you are in that fashion, right? It's like if we all were talking highly about him, he's an amazing guy. He I completely respect his opinion and what he was doing. Well, not responding is pretty good because now, everybody already likes him. They're on the side. But right now he would have to have a lot of explaining to do if he were to go on another PR run and talk about it. So
that wouldn't be a comfortable interview, really, would it? So
yeah. I'm interested to know, let's go back to you. Sorry for that sidetrack. I just had to know. We got someone PR, I gotta ask. So with Golden PR, what is the vision? How big are you going? You sound like you've got big dreams and you're headed for the stars. What does it look like for you? Maybe give us like a 5-year snapshot.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're working with, obviously we're just building brands online, but we have a lot of plans to get into the tech side of things. We have a lot of plans to build like our own software and enable our company with like press release distribution. That's a market I want to get into. I think it's just outdated and old and dusty right now, and I want to fix it. I do want to get into, there's so much movement happening on the event side of things in the last like 2-3 years after COVID, especially, where we want to start like throwing a lot of like masterminds events and stuff like that for the people that we do know, because it's just, we have this huge network that we just want to start like getting people to meet each other at this point. So I think that over the next like 5 years, definitely what to expect is like some sort of tech enablement, like that, like with our company, and definitely something more on the event side of things. We're sponsoring these big, events to just get people together and meet each other and network with each other.
I love that.
Yeah. You mentioned before that you do your due diligence on clients when they come to you. So what does onboarding look like for you? So when a client, for our listeners, goes, I want to hire JJ, what does that onboarding process look like?
Yeah, if somebody wanted to hire me, they would have to go to our website and like fill out an application to work with us. And then at that point, one of our team members will reach out to them, jump on the phone with them, and just get an understanding of who they are, what they do. And from there, we would get on a few more meetings. It's like a couple meeting long process where they would get on like a 15-20 minute session where we really, like with our brand specialists, where we really break down like exactly what they're doing, exactly what their mission is, where they're currently at in their business, what are their biggest weaknesses. Like if I were to get you on Joe Rogan tomorrow and 1 million people showed up to your business, like how would it handle that? And just like kind of keep going with that. And then from there, we would create like a detailed strategy framework if they do qualify to work with us. That would outline like the next steps that we would take to immediately get them, going.
Yeah.
So back to you. You went from living out of your car, which I still am like, I think is so incredible that you pushed through that and are where you are now. So if you were to go back in time and the JJ that's in his car working on his laptop in the snow or whatever he said, were to be looking at who you are now, this multi-million-dollar agency, what do you think, what do you think that version of you would be thinking right now of the version that is you now?
I would probably just laugh hysterically if I saw that. Like if I got to see the future me. It's not like I don't know. Like I've always believed in myself. Like I always knew it was bound to happen. It was just a matter of when. And like it didn't matter what storm I was in. I just knew it would, like, every time I get in a bad storm, like I always think to myself, like, how much worse could it get? Like it's only up from here kind of thing. So I mean, even in that moment, it was like the worst case scenario is like, I just have to, I don't know, drive somewhere else or drive home or try to drive to family members or whatever and get there. But if I were to like give one piece of advice to myself back then, I would probably say, like, get a better gym membership, because I was showering up like Planet Fitness and stuff when I was living in there. It was not good.
Yeah.
But,
that's funny.
Yeah. Can we talk a bit about can we talk a bit about business wins? What the big wins that you've had with your clients, what has that meant for them personally and also their business?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the person, depends on the win. And people come to us for a bunch of different things, whether it's like branding or rebranding or acquisition, or just like increasing the value of their company, raising money, all sorts of things. My most like, I guess like confident case studies and stuff of people that have worked with us, or somebody that was like, somebody I could see a lot of myself into, that I could relate to, that I could talk to, and that are struggling with a problem that I used to struggle with, that I could help with my services and stuff. So sometimes successes are raising exit, like we've helped to raise money for people that are taking children out of mines in Africa and stuff. So that's like something that's cool. We've helped business owners, like, increase like their rates and their sales cycles and like change up their business. That was a huge bottleneck for them, and that's their business. So like the fact that I'm able to help them like achieve their dream is also really cool. I don't know, there's a lot of different things, a lot of cool like case studies, I guess, that we have. But yeah, definitely like nonprofits are pretty fun whenever you get to do good work with them. That's always usually pretty fulfilling.
I love that. It's kind of like you get to leverage your impact on, the world at large by being able to help these businesses. And that's your contribution. Because sometimes I think people can take this weight of like, oh, I really want to be a good person and do good things. And they sort of think they have to do the big thing. Whereas you found a skill set that's allowed you to stay fulfilled and zone in on what your genius and be able to help multiple people who are doing those big things sort of spread that, which is really cool. I love that.
And is there an ideal client that you work with versus some you actually don't work with?
Yeah, I mean, ideally they are, usually we thrive in the business, the finance, that kind of area, taking executives, CEOs, people of that nature, and just building a brand for them online. That's like where we've seen the most success in, and like who's like knocks at our door for the most part. But when it comes to like who I personally enjoy the most, like working with, I mean, anybody with like a cool story to tell, because it's like, it just moves the needle. We just signed on this one client like about a month ago. She grew up in the Amazon jungle. Like she had a drive by, like it took 5 days by boat to get out to her island. That's where she grew up. And then somehow came out of there, went to like Mexico or whatever, and then worked her way up, came to America, worked her way up, became like executives at Fortune 500 companies, and then started her own business as a roofer, and owns this like roofing company, which is like male dominant industry kind of thing. And she's like killing it. And it's like, what do I do? Like I was homeless in a car. You were in an Amazon jungle, like taking that. This is amazing. I want to take this. So there's people like that where it's just like, they get in your pipeline. It's like, dude, I just want to tell their story. You get so motivated about it and passionate. And Those are my favorite kinds of people. But
Oh, that's cool that you get to experience those stories.
Yeah. You may have answered this, JJ, but I'm curious, and it's okay to say I've kind of done it. But if we strip away all the success you've had, what is the big driver for you to keep going doing this?
yeah, I mean, I think the biggest driver for me is, number one is faith, but number two is like, I would say being able to show other people that it was possible. Like, cause where I grew up, it wasn't like, there was no opportunity. There was no, like, if you grow up in a big city or something, you'll always be able to see other people have money or other business owners or whatever. Like where I grew up, it was like very small town, like kind of coal mining town, northeastern Pennsylvania. Like it was they would put boards up over the school so bricks didn't fall on your head because it was just falling apart, like that kind of thing. So like, yeah, yeah. So like, it's like to be able to show people that like, okay, no, I was in the same situation as you, like, and I was able to do it, and like be able to just kind of be that, I guess, light for other people to just go out and achieve their dreams and know that anything's possible. I think that's like a big driving factor for me.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, that's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say you've got someone who's just hit rock bottom, maybe one of our listeners. What advice would you give to them other than get a better gym membership? Well, that's good advice.
Although still get a good gym membership.
I think that is also very...
Still go to the gym.
That's very good.
Yeah. I guess it depends how rock bottom they are. But
let's go to the bottom.
Just say like,
the pit, right? The bottom of the pit.
The worst.
Yeah. The bottom is just like, yeah. I mean, I don't even know. It depends. Whatever business that they're in, I would just like keep your head up. Like try to call people that are, I don't know, just in a better position than you, and like get their advice and figure it out. But I don't know. I just have to believe in yourself. Like you literally just have to believe in yourself when all the odds are against you. Cause I think that's like, diamonds are made under pressure, right? Like pressure makes diamonds or whatever. So I think like that's like as much as a setback as it might feel like right now, it's teaching you exactly what you need to be taught. And you're going to be able to use that years and years down the line. Like, so yeah.
Fun fact, they actually have that exact quote, "The diamond's made under pressure," in a glow light at my gym.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So now I'll think of you when I see it. I'll be like, hey.
You don't need a better gym membership, right? Yours is fine.
Yeah, I'm upgraded.
All right. As a bit of a precursor to a little game that we like to play at the end of our episodes, JJ, can you finish this sentence for me? Business feels like a game when
you're having fun. And like just serving the world. I don't know. I think business is just a game when you're passionate, I guess, about whatever it is that you do. When you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's just not like, it's an obligation. To me, I get to wake up every day and I'm fired up every morning and I'm fired up every night, and I work 10, 12-hour days because I love it, so it feels most like a game when you just love your craft, love what you do.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool. Love that.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, JJ, we like to play a game with our guests each week called the Rapid Fire Round, where we put you on the spot and learn more about you. Answer as fast as you can without thinking, 1 or 2 words only. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Early riser or night owl?
Oh, early riser.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
All right. The PR buzzword that needs to die a swift death.
I don't even know. You got me there. I like all the PR words. They're all good.
Okay, that's an answer.
Long live the PR words. Yeah.
Best pump up song before a big pitch.
I listen to country music, so I don't know, Rockstar by Nickelback.
Nickelback.
It's not a good pump-up song.
Your dream client, Elon Musk or Taylor Swift?
Oh, I feel like Taylor Swift would give me more opportunities to make something.
Okay, what gets better press, controversy or consistency?
Consistency.
Mm-hmm. What's your coffee order?
Black coffee, iced. That's it. Just a iced cold brew.
Nice, there you go. Okay, first media outlet you ever landed a client on?
Yeah, it was probably something small like West Hollywood Weekly or like a Medium article or something like that.
All right. And the one word that sums up good PR.
Authenticity. That's a
Yeah,
good
There
one.
you go. The word of the day.
Yeah.
This has been really great, JJ. We
Yeah.
really appreciate your time
Yeah, thank you.
and your very valuable insight. I've learned so much myself. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
So we're just about out of time. So can you tell us and our listeners where people can find you and learn more about Golden PR?
Yeah, I mean, you could find me on LinkedIn if you just look up JJ Carter, or you could go to our website, GLDNPR.com, and everything's right there. So
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, JJ.
thank
right,
you guys. It was good to be on.
Yeah, this has been great. So that's all we've got time for. Wherever you're listening from, thanks for joining us here on The Business Game, and we'll see you next time.
Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to The Business Game.
If you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to stay connected.
A big thank you to our major sponsor, TraffTrack, for powering today's episode.
And join us again on the next episode of The Business Game, a
A
podcast that moves the needle.